Okay, Mr. Shiley, been a pleasure speaking with you on the phone.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us today. What I like to do is kind of paint a picture of some of the things that we discussed on the phone about your business. I like to put 3 numbers here on the board that may or may not mean anything to you at this particular time. Those numbers mean anything to you at all? No? Not at all? Okay. All right. Well, I'll help you out with this. The 65 actually represents 6.5 million people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We live in a big metroplex, so this is probably not astounding to you at all. The 10 represents the 10 locations that you currently have. Are you guys planning on expanding at all?
You know, we could.
Possibility?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
always a
All right.
possibility.
Okay. Now the 90 represents 90% of these 6.5 million people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are actually utilizing the internet to go online to find information that they need, especially with the younger crowd that we have today. Everyone's using the internet.
Right.
Now, with that in mind, those 90% of the people that are using the internet, they're accessing the internet, have you guys done anything to try to capitalize on that number?
You know, we do a little bit of advertising, web advertising.
Okay.
Get a real big return from that
All right.
at this point, but
Okay.
we're definitely looking into that.
All right. Well, studies have shown that that's a very, very accurate number. So that's something that we definitely want to talk about today. Kate?
Okay. Jason, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good, Tate. to
Good,
see you.
good. First of all, I want to expand on this. We know your current situation is you're very limited on bandwidth.
Right.
And as you continue to expand and add applications, etc., you keep running into bottlenecks. Currently, right now, you're at 1.5 meg circuits, correct, per location, at each location, is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay. What happens if you continue to stair step and you add additional bandwidth, the 1.5 meg, based on your expectations, long term, is this going to be something that you can work with? Especially as you're trying to get market share.
You know, we're really not sure, Tate. It's,
Okay.
it's definitely something we're looking at right now.
Okay. Well, what happens, or could you imagine if we could change that for you? Say maybe we could change this curve and do something like this to help you company adapt to the higher market share. Would this be something that would be attractive to you?
Tell me more. That's interesting.
Okay. Let me have the wise man expand on it. No pressure.
So just in summary, I mean, again, you guys are a media company. You're trying to get content out to your customers. This is how many potential customers you've got to work with. This is the percent of these customers that are trying to hit media online, on a website, email, newsletter, etc. And I think what you said was very telling. You guys are doing your best to identify how do we hit this market share? How do we make sure that our network, that your network, is in line with customer demand? You know, going from 1.5 meg to 3 meg, is that going to be enough?
It would be a short-term solution.
So as this demand continues to increase, right, as this demand keeps going this way, up and to the right, you bump up to 4.5 meg, will that be enough? How do you quantify that?
That's
So-
a bit of our predicament.
So imagine this for a moment. Imagine the capacity to have 1 gig of internet connection at every site that you guys have, all 10 locations. What would it be like if you guys had a gig at every location?
Expensive.
Let's pretend that dollars and cents are irrelevant at this
Yeah,
point.
in an ideal world. Incredible.
Okay. So here's what we're looking at doing. You could have Charter Fiber Optics brought into every single one of your locations. They have the capacity to go up to a gig. To your point, what's going to fit your budget, right? A
Right.
gig, at this point, probably not. However, you may look at something like, well, let's start with a 10 meg circuit at every site. I mean, for 1.5, you're pushing 5, 6, 7 times the bandwidth over fiber optics. Again, one of the things that my counterpart brought up, Tate, was that you're doing the stair-step thing now. Where you're going up, you got to wait it out until you can upgrade. With fiber optics, you can incrementally grow this as you increase market share and as your customers demand more bandwidth. The nice thing about tying it all together is it's not going to break your budget. We can do this at a cost-effective rate that's going to be attractive to both you and the financial powers that be, to make sure that you're not having to jump into a huge investment to get this kind of model. Also, it's one company. I know today you guys are using one of the CLECs, Paytech, now Windstream, and you've already mentioned a couple of times where there's a hang-up, there's a hiccup at one of your sites. You're having to go on the phone with Paytech, Windstream, who's having to then try and touch base with AT&T, who owns the last mile.
Yeah, I'm
Some
not sure
finger
about
pointing.
who, Windstream by Paytech or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm a little confused.
And so at any rate, that becomes some finger pointing. You and the IT staff aren't able to even troubleshoot the issue because you're still trying to assign blame and figuring out who do you need to work with. So one company, we own the network. The fiber that's going to be in your telco closet and go all the way from there to the internet is Charter owned. So no finger pointing. If there ever is an issue, if you do have a question, we'll give you one number to call. Now, what's nice about this, the Network Operations Center, stateside, 24/7/365, live answer. So you call in, you press the number 2, you get a live engineer on the phone. Nice little side statistic, 90% of the calls in that call center are, the issue that they're calling with is resolved within that one phone call. So the question I would have for you, based on today with your T1 and the stair-step approach, a growing demand from your customers and your company's attempt to get more market share, would this position your company better for future growth than your current setup?
Yes.
That said, what should our next steps be?
You can look at cost.
Absolutely. Okay.